Hello, welcome to the continuation of our Christmas lectures here at Staffordshire University. Today we have with us Jody Heap, who's going to talk through the Minecraft library project we have here at Staffordshire. You excited for this, Jamie?
I am. As a little sneak peek, one of the next episodes of our internal podcast, Level of Detail, is on Minecraft, and I dominated that entire podcast. So I'm very excited for this talk.
I think this is quite fun because it links back to what Chris was talking about gamifying in higher education. So we'll bring Jodie up and we'll let her take the stage, and together we can explore the Minecraft project.
Let's do it.
Hello. Hi everyone. I mean, I want to be invited on that podcast. Maybe I could be a guest, feature. My name is Jody Heap. I'm one of the academic librarians and skills tutors. And for this session, I am going to be telling you about the project. I am going to hopefully take you on a tour of the virtual library, and then at the end tell you about, if you are interested in helping me create more of these things, how you could do that. So let's get into it. So the Minecraft project, it's a little bit of an alternative way of engaging with the library. So I'm going to give you a bit of background to the project on how we came up with the concept of it, how it was created, and how you can get involved with helping the research project. So the background to the virtual Minecraft world starts in 2021 when the library went through a full restructure. So totally different setup, new team members, just a total different system. And in line with that, the university had some restructuring as well around the school areas, esports, computing games, all that kind of getting mixed into it. So during that time, I got allocated to computing games and esports. I have a bit of an interest in that area. I'm pretty aligned with the subject content, at least. I have an interest in it. Playing Baldur's Gate at the moment with questionable ability, but still. And in conversation with staff and students, we kind of identified that some of the students were a little bit less interested in engaging with the library, with the library products, and the support that is available to them through the university, through the academic skills team, etc. So the question that I had was, how do I best engage these learners? How do I get them to come and use the service? So I had to think about it, and I identified that there was a few different variables that I could control potentially, which kind of resulted in a combination of looking at UX and like front end systems. The library website, it has to serve a lot of people. It serves staff, students, researchers, people who are international, our partner institutions. So as a result of that demand, there's not a lot that we can do to make it too stimulating, shall we say, because the products in there need to be able to serve everybody's needs, and that user experience is really important, and that access to those products is really important. But that isn't to say that I couldn't create a different avenue for certain people who are interested in a slightly more engaging system or avenue of access to get through to the library systems. I had to consider, what did I have access to as a member of the university? Is this something that was already available to me through the suite of systems that the university would give me access to? How much user knowledge would be involved in this process? I have to say, hands up, I'd never really engaged with Minecraft before I started creating the virtual Minecraft library. So it did take me quite some time to get to grips with it, and understanding the differences between the editions that we have. So the edition that we are using for this project is Minecraft for Education, as opposed to Bedrock or Java, which does have some interesting access complications because it's not able to be server-led, unfortunately, but it is downloadable. So pros and cons to both systems. So It had to be something that everyone would have access to. So it had to be free to the users. It had to be available through the IT infrastructure. And it had to be something that I had the capacity to engage with and support. So that's a little bit of the background. So I'll just play a video if it works. We'll see. You never know with these PowerPoint embedded videos. If not, we're going to skip that because there we go. So the template that has been used is a museum template. So I will say hands up, I didn't make the building. I would have been extremely impressed with myself if I had, but I did use a template to speed up that process. But it seemed to me that this museum template looked really like a really hecking cool library. And it had all these segments and sections that I could use to naturally flow and structure the information that I wanted to present. And it would be a combination of novelty for the user and a combination of perhaps nostalgia if you've used it previously as a student. So it felt to me like it was going to be a really good template to use. So on the left-hand side of the building, I have access to all of the resources, projects and links where you can talk to the NPCs and learn about what are books and databases and journals. And you can access through to those live systems through the library website. On the right-hand side, you can talk to the NPCs about the support that's available. So the 3 different library teams, and again, linking through to our more like academic skills guide content. And in between, we have flips and switches which relate to the electronic sound systems, which are for booleans, and upstairs we have the knowledge floor where you can learn how information and misinformation and all that sort of stuff comes into application when we talk about critical thinking. So it's kind of a nice adaptation of the library website and also a bit more of a visualization tool. So the activity that we're going to attempt to embark on is a bit of a library tour. So you have the option to download Minecraft for education if you are on your own device. Or using the university device, it should be preloaded, and then you can download and either access the file on your own, or you can join me with my share link. So we're gonna attempt it. So the link in the chat and on screen will take you through to the library's guide on how to download the program and how to download the file. So let's see. That's it. Let's play the video. Every time I run this video, I have to double check because IT do like to move the access points for these things. But so far, I think it works. But every time I come on, it's a different location. Cool. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to hang here for just a little while to give people a chance if you are interested in downloading the program if you don't have it already. And I've popped the share link into the chat, and on screen you can see the join visual code as well. So I'll just give you about a few minutes to join if you are interested. And if not, no worries. I will be doing a tour of the residence anyway.
Just whilst we're waiting for people to pop in, Jodie, what's your favorite aspect of the whole project?
Oh, that is a good question. My favorite aspect is the idea that I think libraries typically seem quite. Libraries can seem a bit boring. They're a bit stereotyped. There, I said it. And I don't agree with that. I think that the resources that we have access to, the systems that we engage with, the people that we engage with, are constantly changing. I mean, I am just so into AI, Gen AI, and that sort of stuff at the moment because it impacts directly on the libraries and the works that we do. So I'm always looking for ways we can gamify, ways we can play and have a bit of fun whilst learning in that process. I particularly like the Minecraft world because you get to create an example of how a Boolean switch would work using the red sandstone. I mean, like, that's just cool, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of children, kind of get their first introduction to basic programming inside of Minecraft because redstone is just a Boolean on off, right? So it's a really cool learning tool.
So if you then talk to the NPC next to the like switch setup that we have, that will then literally show you the Boolean operators running through the library search. So you can see how that combination of keywords is actually the same process. Like it's connecting the dots and like resulting in an output. And because a lot of people think that library databases they're just so complex and they can't possibly be understood, but they're not really. So
it's a good hands-on tool, which I quite like.
Yeah, I think what I like is that if you're an individual, you can go in and explore the world and see what the resources and support are, but you can also perhaps run it through as a class session and have it like as a treasure hunt sort of scenario or as an activity that you all do together. So depending on, you could set up a study hour for your classmates to all come into the library Minecraft and do some studying together and access the products that way. So I think it could be really, really useful as a tool.
Awesome. Well, what we'll do is we'll give it another about 5 minutes or so, see if anyone does want to get to join in, and then if not by then, we'll let Jodie go through and give us a tour.
I'm afraid I've tried to download it many times in the last 20 minutes since I was told, hey, Jamie, during this talk, you can play Minecraft. And my computer has decided,
no. Yeah. We'll just have to do it later. I'll have to come and we'll
compare
tech support.
I can always open Baldur's Gate. That works.
How long did it take to get the project together, Jodie? Like, was it a long process?
I will say sort of from the kind of conception of the idea through to like implementation, it was a full academic year. That's mainly due to the fact that I did not know what I was doing in Minecraft. So there was a lot of user error in that time, and of course having to kind of fit it in around my full-time job, as it were. But yeah, I would say once I kind of understood what I could and couldn't do, it kind of came together quite quickly. I really wanted to try and make images of the logos of the brands of the products that we have in there and then be linkable, and that just hurt my brain too much. So I tapped out and had to go down the NPC route, which is less visually cool, but it does the job. I would say
running around now. There's people running into the museum.
Yeah, there's some people running to the museum. Yeah. Okay, what we'll do is Jodie, we'll pass back to you. You can run us through the museum and show us all the exciting things that you've been working on.
Okay, let's go. Come on, program. Escape. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, we have the museum building here. I have red blocked it just to try and stop people floating off into space, because that was occurring in some of my user experience testing. The front entrance we have here introduces, I kind of went for a Harry Potter Hogwarts-esque vibe with all the lanterns at the top. The first NPC that we come across is Moss, who greets you and welcomes you to the library and lets you know the different avenues you can go to get support or resources. So let's head over onto the left-hand side of the building and go see the resources. So again, we've got our assistants. I've set up the shelves, and all the Dewey numbers are correct according to the Dewey Decimal System. So just a little, nod to reality there. But all of these guys in the middle, if you talk to them, they will tell you a little bit about what that kind of resource type is, and you can click to learn more, and it will take you through to that website if it wants to load on my computer. Da-da-da. Yeah, it's just my internet being slow, running too many programs. But yeah, so you can come in and talk to these. My favorite section is the computers at the back, because they take you directly through into the library catalog system, which is where we have the sort of aggregated content. So library search is where we keep the majority of our academic material, so your academic books, your academic journals, your academic videos. And the A to Z of databases is more individualized in that it's multimodal content, which is more what we would call contextual information. So typically you want a thing from library search and a thing from the A to Z of databases in your assignment to have really good solid conversations around whatever topic it is, and it just comes together really nicely. So you can see here the library search is coming through, so it's all authenticated via the library's programs, the Open Athens that we use anyway, so there's no issues there with any of the sort of authentication systems glitching or anything through Minecraft, because it's already run through the library website. In the center, we have resources that are specifically study skills based. So in here you have things like the subject guides and Cite Them Right. So although these are individual resource products, they're not subject specific. So it's nice to be able to put them slightly to the side in between that resource and support categorization, because they are support resources. Oh, do we have a question? I can't see it. I think that might be for someone else. Too many chats going on. And on the right hand side, we can come over into the connect teams. Let's just give that a go for a second. Comment. Aha. Da-da-da. Do people ever engage in shenanigans in the library? Yeah, I mean, in the downloadable version of the file, they like with the world, so if they want to start trying to mine, they can do. The sort of upside down of the education element is the fact that it's sort of that education version where everything is kind of free anyway, so it kind of takes away some of that want for destruction and mining and stuff. But yeah, the upside is that you have everything you already want anyway, so you could do anything you want with it, unlike normal Minecraft where there's that scarcity element. Yeah. So here we have links through to the Student Connect team, links through to Beacon Bot, online workshops. You can talk to the academic skills team that I belong to and book your one-to-one appointments. Find an error with one of the systems, which occasionally happens with having as many systems as the library has. You can report a problem, and on the far side you've got your links through to specific assignment types like essays or presentations or posters. And to add a little bit of interest, I did add in the minecarts, which is the bane of my existence because I can never get them to run how I want them to. So if anyone knows how to improve my minecarts, please let me know, because I tried to make it so that they would run around properly, but I'm just not, it's not my greatest moment, my minecarts. And at the back of the library, we have our Boolean operators, red sand systems. So you can flick the switches and see how they need to combine together to turn on the box. And here you can talk to the NPC, run the AND action, and it will launch both keywords using the Boolean operator and in the library search, so we can see how those programs come together. Oh, I think that's quite nice. I have two favourite sections, I guess you would say, is upstairs. We have the library knowledge floor, I guess we would call it, where you can look at the information pyramid. And this is where I would really say the information section comes in, because a lot of students ask us, well, okay, what do I do with that product now that I've seen it, or how does it integrate with my assignment? So on the left hand side we have things like general knowledge into case studies. Those are typically examples that you might see coming through into the general internet, so you might get those reported in newspapers. And then things that are a little bit less visual maybe are randomized controlled trials, our critically appraised articles, all the way through to our systematic reviews. And you can see that that is echoed on the right hand side by our source of information. So that generalist information, newspapers and websites might report on our case studies, whereas typically you need to go to a journal or a specific database for that more sort of higher level analysis of those specific things. And again, you can talk to all the NPCs and they will take you through to supporting information. On the right-hand side to these guys, we have a little bit of information about how to assess information. So we have the CRAP test here, which is how you assess a source to see if it's good enough. This is particularly relevant in the age of generative AI because we can't assess those outputs very well for their suitability or inclusion in anything academic at the moment, at least. And specifically fake news is a big issue at the moment, again, because we have things like deep fakes and in audio AI creations which are tricking people, and just the sort of imagery of it all. I'm really fascinated by the creation of the Gen AI influencers and the sort of impact that is having. So yeah, fascinating. And then in the back here we have a little bit of referencing, and again you can talk to those guys. And students did help me set this section up, so if you come to this back section, there is a picture here, and if you talk to the NPC, he recommends that you don't look too closely at the image, which is interesting. And hopefully this is where I suck at this. You can actually go through that. I was so impressed that a student showed me how to do that. And in this secret back room, we have 2 escape rooms that are run via OneNote. So a colleague of mine has an escape and save the library adventure set up that you can access via this system. So again, you can access it. And I am in the process of creating a maze to add to the fun of that scenario. Again, any volunteers would be very helpful here. And one of the biggest things that I have made to kind of make this place a little bit more fun is after you've had all the excitement indoors, if you come outside to the back room, you can check out my essay maze. So a lot of students say to me that they think essays are a little bit like mazes. They don't know if they go in the right direction. They don't know who to talk to or what to do. So I have actually created a maze where you have to talk to the right people to figure out the directions and steps you need to go through to make a essay. And because it's all redstone, there's no flying over it, in theory at least. If I've set up the settings correctly, which is questionable. Yeah, so it's a nice a little adventure. If you want to go check that out, you can go and explore the maze and see if you can figure out the way forward. So that is pretty much it. I'm going to hang in the chat and we can have a mooch around together. And if you've got any questions, let me know. Carry on playing and I will talk to you about how to support the project if you are interested. Thank you. Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah. How do people if they did want to sign up to help with the research study, what would be the process for them to do that?
So I have some handy dandy slides to do that. So from current slide, let's do it. So if people were interested in signing up or helping me with continuing this project, if you think that this is something that libraries should be doing more of, or that you think is, interesting that we have done, or perhaps you just think that's a weird thing that we've done, but you kind of want to comment on it, I am looking for research participants. So anecdotal evidence from students, staff and students say we think this is a cracking project and that it's interesting that the library has done this. But for us to continue to maintain it and invest in it, we do need some more scientific evidence, shall we say, to back us up. So we are looking for students to be part of the research project. For this, you would answer a few simple survey questions about who you are, what your background is, and you would then be filmed playing the game for a little bit. You would get to feedback on the elements that you like, what you didn't like, what your general thoughts are about the project, so that we can continue this kind of exciting research and innovation that I think that we should be interested in. So if you are interested, you can sign up to take part. You can either you can either click the code, which I will click the link up, which I will share afterwards with everyone, or you can scan the QR code and it'll take you through to a participant sign up form where you can submit your email and I'll get in touch with you to arrange a date. So we've got a question. What's next? How does it grow? Yeah, this is it. I want to know. I need users to tell me now. What do we want next? Do we want links to other parts of the university? Do we want I don't know, what can we do with this project next? I think that there's a lot of scope that we have here to make it exciting and usable and an integral part of university life. But yeah, I'd really love some feedback to give me a direction to take it in. So yeah, I'm going to pause there and see if there's any further questions or thoughts, and I will continue to walk around the world as we go. Da-da-da. Go back to the beginning just so we can see the majesty of the building. So I just thought the template was very nice. Yeah, so that's essentially it. But yeah.
Hey, Jodie. It's us, the hosts. We have returned. I wanted to ask what inspired you first to sort of do this project.
So there is a group called the SUMEC project, which staff can sign up to, which is basically a bit of Microsoft training, where you are specifically asked to engage with Microsoft products that you are less familiar with, and to investigate how you might use it in your work, which is a really nice project for staff. And the only one that I hadn't really engaged with or had much confidence with was Minecraft. So I thought, I'm going to have a go at that.
I'm going to find out what other games Microsoft has made now, so I can get a free afternoon playing games. That sounds fantastic.
It did feel a bit weird in the middle of the staff office cracking out Minecraft, but it's for educational purposes. So yeah, it was, and when we were looking at it and I was like looking at the templates, and it just so happened that I went to a little like educational conference online that when they launched the museum template, and I thought, well, that looks like a really nice library to me. So yeah, I just started playing around with the tool. I think it's undervalued how useful it can be to just have a bit of a play with a new system and consider how it could be used. And I appreciate that Minecraft, perhaps for some people, is considered, bracketed at secondary school age. But a lot of the students and staff that I speak to enjoy playing it and enjoy using it as a product. So, why not?
It's a good game, and you've built it into a really, really cool looking tool here.
Yeah, what I would like to do is have some more secret rooms and puzzles to unlock to kind of make it a little bit more like an escape room at the same time. Again, I would love some expertise or assistance with that.
This is heralding back to the early years of Minecraft on YouTube, when a lot of Minecraft YouTube was almost like escape room type maps that people have made with like narratives and stuff like that. And I like that it continues through into the educational setting, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, well, I think, a lot of an assignment is about having curiosity about the questions that are related to the subject. Like, how do we know this? How could this be improved? What asking questions of yourself and of the knowledge that you have. So I think when you're in a library scenario, you're just surrounded by all these cool things that you could ask yourself, do I know that? Let me go read that. Let me go check it out. And what I like at the moment is a lot of the library content is really moving towards this multimodal capacity. So like videos, audio, imagery as well, which I just think is, a great thing.
We do have a Microsoft Forms link. There was a question, and we'll get to you, to Neon. But we have a Microsoft Forms link if anyone wants to offer any feedback on how the sessions have gone, just so we know how to further improve in the future. So if you would like to fill that Forms link out. And we have a question from Neon that says Minecraft is quite accessible, and it's it's really cool to see it being utilized this way, which I think we can all agree with. It's awesome to kind of gamify education, and especially like making learning fun, like having access to a wider range of knowledge. Like the last time I think I went to a library was, I don't know, when I was maybe 10. So
yeah,
I think
that's it. I think there's an academic and university library is just so different, and I think because you have this perception of like the books on the shelves and computing games and esports particularly kind of not necessarily being about reading loads of books, that we kind of think, oh, it's not for me then. But that couldn't be further from the truth. I think, being able to say, okay, well, I want to know about narrative, I want to know about broadcasting, and the library has the projects that are recommended to you to use. So, any system that can bring those people to those products is going to be useful. I mean, I'm incredibly fascinated by the idea that the library world, as a industry, we, how will virtual reality, how will artificial reality impact on how we engage with users? There's the amount of UX conversations going on is just, massive. So don't miss out on accessing your library, whether it's physically or digitally or through Minecraft. I wouldn't sleep on us. We're pretty good. Ooh.
Really awesome to hear, Jodie.
Thank you. I'm sorry you couldn't get in.
No, it's my computer's fault. We'll blame the computer. I really should be using a university computer.
They should. The IT assured me that all the university computers do have it pre-programmed, like in their download list.
I look forward to seeing this being widely used. Although I am worried I'm going to see a lot of my students playing Minecraft now and not be able to tell if they are citing something for me. As long as they're in the library, yeah. We do have a really awesome collection in the library on like both sides. of the campus. Like we've got the creative collection, which I believe is just below me. I'm sat in the Cadman building. But are there plans to like fully digitalize some of those copies into Minecraft so you can read them in Minecraft? Or is it, where else do you think you could go with this?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So everything that is available through the library is available through the linking via the NPCs. So I could, of course, link to direct specific texts as opposed to just the search database, if that was something that people had a preference for, or that's kind of the issue, is that I don't really know at this point what people would want to access. So I'm kind of having to go more generalist and wide. But yeah, because the authentication is happening from the library end anyway. So linking to a product should be easy to do. It's just
I've got another question for you from the chat. Do you think this is an effective method for encouraging students to read more? I've noticed that younger people read a lot less compared to when I was that age. That is from Neon.
Yeah. Again, I think that's an interesting question, because to in a class, what I would normally ask is, who reads books? And it would be deathly silence. And then I would go, okay, who uses the internet? And everyone puts their hands up. So to that, I would say that we're probably the generations that read the most, because we are using the internet, daily, hourly, and that comes with it a lot of text-based information. So the real question is, do we think people are struggling with reading long form media, as in long pieces of text? Yeah, I think there's less of that going on. I don't know if that's a bad or a good thing. I think it kind of tracks through into the idea of, are people able to ask themselves what they need to know and then find that information? And typically the answer to that would be no. Because you kind of get caught into the issue of, a lot of students are really good at searching for generalist information on generalist websites, and unfortunately, due to capitalism, a lot of academic content is hidden behind paywalls. It's not necessarily freely accessible. So therefore, it's a two-part issue. If we're not necessarily seeking out long-form media, and we don't know where to find that academic content. So you're kind of getting a barrier in two locations there. So the long answer to that short question was, do I think this would help people access information? Yes, I do, because it's very user-friendly and it supports the physical allocation of resources and products. Because a lot of people don't understand that we have subject content and study skills content, and those are generally mixed together. So yeah, long question to the answer, but yeah.
I've got another one for you. And this one is from our own Jennifer Challenor. Is there any data on what type of information is most commonly accessed in this library? Followed by a smiley face.
Yeah, I don't currently get data analytics through the content links this way, because the issue is that it's linking back through to the main library website, which is picking up traffic as a website in and of itself. So I can see the amount of downloads that I have had for this product, but then what I can't necessarily do at this moment is track the person after they've downloaded the item to see how many times they're using it. And then I can't necessarily get that usage data as an end product either, because the website is naturally populated anyway. So I think there is some conversation that I could maybe do that through Google Analytics. But again, I don't have the skill set in that area, which is really frustrating, because it would be so fascinating to know to know the usage of this product. I mean, I did have an IT technician cursing me a couple of months back because of the amount of downloads he's had to support. So I thought that was a good sign.
Popularity via annoyance of the IT people.
Yeah,
I suppose it's a sign.
Yeah, so it would be nice to be able to get that more specific data to usage, but I don't know currently that I can, and then we get into the sort of GDPR-esque issues. So sign up to my research, and then we can get some data that way.
Awesome. This is really cool. I wish I had this resource when I was trying to do research in the middle of the COVID pandemic. That would have been lovely.
Yes.
Well, that's a really fascinating project, Jodie. So what we'll do is we'll if anyone has any feedback you want to offer from the talk, you can follow through our forms link here. And you can give us feedback from there. And what we'll do is we'll stay around for about 5 more minutes if there are any more questions, and then after that we will we'll wrap up. Yeah,
Jodie,
awesome.
in your I've got more questions.
Yeah, go on,
I've got
Jamie.
so many. Jodie, in playing around with Minecraft Education, did you also get a chance to play any of the regular versions of Minecraft?
Do you know what? I have actually never played any other version, and I watch a lot of videos now because my algorithm clearly knows what I've been up to, and I want to. Maybe I can come over if you got it, and I can play. You can. I don't know if you have it at the university.
I'm sure we've got copies lying around somewhere.
Yeah, because my original intention was to have it on a server so that we could have like a little community, but because of the access issues with hosting a server at the university, they wouldn't let me do it. So sadly,
I do recommend you have a jump into regular. It can teach you many a thing on its own.
Yeah, I would like to.
I believe the library would be very entertaining if zombies were trying to chase you around it. I wouldn't recommend it for an educational setting.
Yeah. My 7-year-old nephew is now very confused because he just thinks I play Minecraft for work, which is, as a librarian, a bit of an odd position to be in, but I'm not going to say no. So.
Do you think there's any other games that could be used in a similar vein to what you've done here? So if you were going to take this library, stick it into another game, what game would you put it in?
I mean, my head's just, maybe I'm just a bit obsessed, but like Baldur's Gate, imagine the adventures that you could have. And it would be some sort of cave, and you would have to go and figure it out, and fight some bad guys, and your loot would be access to the library. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I want to be taught how to Harvard reference by Gale of Waterdeep. I think that would be pretty good.
Well, ironically, that would be excellent because a lot of referencing is about gossip and who told you that and where can you find them. So it is technically questing because you have to go find that original source and see if the writer has understood the message correctly or not. So technically not wrong.
That's awesome.
I have made a card game which is based on Top Trumps because again I'm trying to make things like referencing and that fun. So yeah, if you have an in-person session, let's play Info Dumps, which is for legal reasons different enough to Top Trumps to be a game on its own.
Right, I believe that is all the time we had.
Thank you so much for having me.
Am I right in saying that, Ben?
That is correct. Yes. So thank you everyone for your awesome questions, and thank you, Jodie, for bringing your unique project to us live and walking through it. So again, if you're interested in helping Jodie with her project, you can download it and get access to it online. And if you want to give us feedback on the talks, you can follow through the Microsoft Forms link. Jodie, if you could just throw that URL at me for the download for the project, and I'll put it in the chat so everyone has access to it. And then we'll close.
Yeah, I will
Do
send it.
join us after the break, where we'll be joined by Jamie is scrolling through the list. Jamie Ditchfield with the fall and rise of cloud streaming technologies.
Here is the link to the project. So thank you again, Jodie, and thank you everyone for tuning in. And we'll be live at 2 p.m. That's in 15 minutes for the talk with Jamie Ditchfield. So thank you all, and goodbye.
Bye.